Good afternoon from Road America. IndyCar is set to take on this mid-season battle as we continue to watch the title fight shape up as Kyle Kirkwood leads coming into this weekend. 3 wins so far for him. James, is he still the favourite?
As long as he's first in points, he is lead. We have lots of racing to go. Still, anything can and will happen.
Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our IndyCar career mode. Hope you're all having a great day. We are here in the mid-season portion of the calendar at Road America. As you see myself getting some laps under my belt here in practice. A track that I'm quite familiar with, of course, from the NASCAR background, and same for the next episode coming up in mid-Ohio. So excited for these next 2 races out, though. They completely drive different from an IndyCar to a NASCAR stock car, so it's still going to be a bit of a learning curve, to say the least here now. But practice, I felt okay. Definitely some work to do. Kyle Kirkwood comes into this episode still out in front of the championship battle. He is battling it out right now with Felix Rosenqvist, Devlin DeFrancesco, Ericsson Canapino, your top 5 kind of area drivers that we're paying attention to. Joseph Newgarden as well. Got to keep an eye on him now as I'm continuing to try and fine-tune the AI. They're kind of all over the place, and there's a bit of a curveball coming in this episode, which I will explain here momentarily. We actually get ready for some qualifying, so we actually had the 10-minute qualifying session working for once here now, but I was really struggling in turn 1. You got to go really deep into that corner, then I make a mistake right here, so my first lap ruined, and actually it got even worse right here, so that for sure called it a lap. Now I would put up an actual timed lap with still a mistake in it. You can see catching some grass in that right-hander, but we crossed the line. I was really slow. It was not a good lap, so I was looking like starting at the back of the grid again here in Road America, which has been a common occurrence, unfortunately, in my rookie season of IndyCar. And then this is my final attempt to try and improve my lap time down into turn 2, pushing way too hard and on both the entry and the exit, and we're going to go for a slide into the grass, and that's it. We're going to be starting from the back in Road America. An embarrassing qualifying effort here. You just see me. I just slip it up from the rear, and that was it. So really unfortunate. However, what was more unfortunate is when I went to start the race, I actually, here you see the qualifying order, but when I went to start the race, I had the power go out for about 5 minutes. It was very brief. So this qualifying order is losing all of its meaning. We will still be starting at back, but it's actually going to be Alex Palou and Marcus Ericsson starting at the front here. Armstrong, Marcus Armstrong, Elio Castroneves, Rossi, Herta, Scott Dixon, the most recent winner IRL from the last 2 weeks, Scott McLaughlin, they're your top 7. So we would get ready to go racing. It's going to be 15 laps here from Road America. Now, we weren't starting dead last. There was a couple cars behind me after I basically had to skip qualifying to get into the race after the power outage, so that's why you kind of see a little bit of diversity in where drivers are starting this race here as I lunge one up the inside. A close call as we continue on, so we get into turn 1 without dying, thank goodness, but we gained a chunk of positions, and hold on as we head down towards the next right-hander. Here's some more time gained. You got little Dave Malukas right here in front of us. Now, I'm becoming a big fan of David Malukas here in IndyCar in his 2nd season of racing. Of course, I watched the Gateway race, or Worldwide Technology race here this past weekend. Wasn't really thrilled by it. Found that race to be honestly quite boring. But let me know if you guys watched it and what you thought of it. But I find short ovals in IndyCar just don't seem to be the most exciting to watch. It's just a lot of single lane racing with passing here and there. Speaking of passing, there's Christian Lundgaard trying to hang on. Now, of course, you got the McLaren's Award. I got Rosenqvist up here in the mix. Rossi, don't count him out today as well. We're looking to take one of their rides next season, and I'm hearing that we might have an opportunity to talk to Zach Brown coming up here after this episode. So we got to impress. We started at the back here. At the end of this first lap, we had been able to, rally up into 18th position behind Roman Grosjean. So I was pretty happy to be up to P18 after starting at the very back of the grid here. Now, Alex Palou out to an early lead over Marcus Armstrong, the rookie as well. He's unsponsored, actually, this weekend here. But trying to put some pressure on the back of Grosjean. We're on the red stripe Firestone tires, so we will be going on to the Blackwall primary later on when we make our pit stop here. 15 laps is all we have as I make a move up the inside of the Andretti driver of Grosjean, and I didn't realize it at the time, but 15 laps is a lot shorter than I expected in Road America, so it's a bit of a short episode. I'm definitely going to try and add some more laps in the future. We got the elbows out right though, or out there on Grosjean, and are able to move up into P17, and we run down Willpower. It's not been a good season for the defending champion here of the IndyCar series now, as we were closing in on the back of him through the long sweeping right carousel here. Only lap 3 of 15 here. It takes about, you know, a little over a minute 45 seconds for me to get around this circuit right here now, as you can see us going into Canada corner, my home corner, and while I'm going right towards the barrier, we've gone wide. We barely keep it out of the tires and we save it. We get back on track, but the damage is done. We're going to be the last car running now, but that was an unbelievably close call, a mistake on the brake zone, and we pay the price now, and look how close right there. Oh my goodness, even with the left rear, nearly knocked the barrier that way as well. Marcus Ericsson as well, all the way at the back of the grid here now. He got boned by the random start grid basically that we had once the power went out and came back to go into the race. So but here I am now, just trying to claw my way back forward. We know there's some pace in the car. Qualifying was not pretty, but the race pace, and when I'm able to race around these other guys, I'm a lot more confident in my pace, and it certainly shows, because I think we've got top 15 pace in this number 51 machine here today. We just got to hope that there's not much more of an error coming from myself, because there's still enough time to help myself out here and get a good result. And as well helped, there was a couple of slower cars up towards the front, specifically Elio Castroneves. He was pretty slow, holding up a whole line of cars, because AI, iRacing's AI, they really got to work on it. I mean, have dropped the ball so hard with their AI systems here over the last few months. Every update, I feel like the AI gets worse instead of better. So iRacing, if anyone there works at iRacing and sees this video for whatever reason, tell the AI people, come on, let's get it going back in the right direction, please. As we dive up the inside here of Marcus Ericsson, we'll make a nice pass right there, and then try to continue forward onto the back of Callum Ilott now, who's in front of myself, and we're going to dive one up the inside here at the end of the long straightaway here. This only being for what, P25, and he's actually going to be able to hang on, so we're going to go down into the carousel and have to just kind of tuck in behind him, and then as we head down back towards Canada corner, here we go with a run again, trying to save my push to pass. We're going to continue wheel to wheel here down into Canada corner. Ericsson, not a fan of what he sees, I'm sure, but Ilott is going to be able to stay ahead until the front straightaway, when I decide, okay, I'm just going to use my push to pass and try to get this overtake complete on him. So you're going to see the run we get. Leaves enough room over there to the right side of the circuit between himself and the wall. I'm able to go through and take now the position. So up at a P25 at the end of lap 6. We're already about halfway through this Grand Prix, as we continue to try and move our way forward. As I was thinking about short pitting, because we know now on the road courses especially, short pitting is huge, because AI struggle really hard on cold tires, and then I can have an extra lap already on heated up tires, on fresh tires, make up some lap time, and then the lap where they come back out, another opportunity to gain even more time. So we are going to gain a ton of time during the pit cycle here, and I would close in on the back of this group of cars here now. So we got Devlin DiFrancesco in the top 5 in the standings, not having a good run here today in Road America now, as we come through the penultimate corner, coming towards lap 9, as we're going to close up on the back of the fellow Canadian. We've run into the back of the fellow Canadian. Part of the wing goes, the whole left side of the wing's gone.
Okay, pit now, we can make it from here.
Our engineer calls us in immediately here to come in and fix the car, because we are at least within the pit window. So we're going to come in and replace the front wing, as well as throw on a brand new set of the Blackwall primary tires, and we're going to fill it up with fuel, and we will be able to make it to the end. Not by much, but we are barely within that fuel window, so not much of a concern there now. So it's going to take about an extra 4 to 5 seconds to do the pit stop, to get the front wing on the car. But we're going to gain that all back, and probably then some, because of the cold tires with the AI below, as well as Armstrong and others coming into the pit lane just a lap later, after I decide to, of course, make that, you would say, an unscheduled pit stop. So I'm trying to find as much time as I possibly can here in this next lap to 2 laps before the majority of the field pits, because you're going to see as we cross the stripe, 6 now laps to go, using the push to pass, not trying to pass anybody, but just looking for the most pace I can get, because at the end of this lap, the majority of the field, or the rest of the field, is going to pit. So here it is. once again, another push to pass. We only got 4 to use in the final 5 laps of this Grand Prix, but you're going to see a whole bunch of cars coming out, but we were able to make up so much time, and now they are going to spend this whole lap on cold tires that we are going to be able to just abuse these guys. We're going to pass them. It's going to look like they're going 5 miles per hour while I'm going 200 miles per hour at times. We're going to try and go around the outside of Connor Daly. Now I'm going to actually swat back to the outside, or to the inside, sorry, and we're going to go past them. We got Simon Pagenaud here on the left side. Of course, we hope to see him in an IndyCar soon. Unfortunately, not going to happen for the remainder of this season in real life there, but we passed Pagenaud, and then we're going to continue to just close in on the cars in front of us here. There's Roman Grosjean again. Of course, we were battling with him a little bit earlier. We got Santino Ferrucci just in front. Here we go, a move from the back. He's on the red striped alternates, and so is Grosjean and many others, but still, when they are on cold tires, I can just take so much advantage when my tires are heated up. Another move coming here on Grosjean up the inside of the Frenchman, and thank you very much, Grosjean. We'll take that position now as we wait to see where we have cycled out through. I'm thinking around P15 area is where we are going to be at the conclusion of this lap. That was an absolute banger of a lap, and it was P15 exactly, as we're behind Rinus VeeKay in these closing 4 laps here in Road America. Palou is out in front by 13 seconds over Armstrong. Rossi's 16 back in the McLaren. It's been a dominant day, kind of like real-life IndyCar for Alex Palou. As you can see myself trying to close in on these cars in front of us here, and it was actually Canapino holding up this little group of cars. He was struggling on pace, and that was giving me a fighting chance because I didn't have enough pace to fight and hang with these guys behind him, but now that they've gotten stuck behind him, well, the tire difference does not no longer matter. So that was allowing me to close in. Grosjean continuing to put some pressure on me. I was desperately trying to stay ahead of him, but like I said, Canapino has really allowed me to take advantage and stick with these guys and maybe make some moves. 3 to go. Push to pass use. We're going to have, I think, 2 push to passes left coming to 2 laps to go, but we're all over the back of Rinus VeeKay because of this stack up. I'm just about running into the back of him right there now, but we stay put, and now here we go. A few moments later, an opportunity to overtake VeeKay down into the left-hander. You got Graham Rahal just in front here as well, so we'll pass VeeKay, and this absolute comeback drive of a lifetime continues on. We were nearly in the tire barriers out of the race earlier, and now we are into the 14th position in these closing laps because of some strategy to help us here as we go through the grid. You see Rossi there third. Dixon having a good day. He had such a rough start to the season, but has been rebounding nicely. McLaughlin as well. Herta, Newgarden in the top 10, the Detroit winner there of Newgarden as well. You see this battle, and now it's Castro Neves holding up this line of cars. He is only up there because of the random starting grid, and you can see there's a lack of pace, but the AI, with the way they are in iRacing AI, they really are reluctant to pass. I've been messing with the settings as much as I can to get them to be more aggressive, and here I am being aggressive though, up the inside of Rahal at the end of the long straight, right there behind Christian Lundgaard, and we're going to get the elbows out on Rahal. He's going to continue side by side though. We'll give him the space up the little hill there as we go through the left-hander there. We're going to muscle him out and actually contact there on the right rear wheel to his left front. We continue on, but he had a bit of a bounce. He stays only 1 position loss. That was to myself as we approach the final lap here in Road America. And that's when I realized this race is way too short. I should have added more laps. I promise I will next time. But white flag in the air here in Road America. We got Canapino right in front of us. No push to pass needed. We had such a big run with the slipstream. Up the inside we go. Down into turn 1, side by side, wheel to wheel. More contact there. That's going to tear his right side of his front wing completely off as I got a little bit too aggressive. That's 2 laps in a row I've had contact while passing someone. I muscled him out and the damage is done.
Okay, I'm being told you must give up 5 positions for that contact by the end of the lap. 5 positions.
Are you serious? There's barely any contact there with them.
Reckless driving, they are saying. Either you give up 5 or get a DQ.
Well, there you have it. Either give up 5 positions by the end of the lap, or we get a disqualification for the contact, and it's more than the contact with Canapino that tore his wing off. It's the contact with Rahal as well that leads into that decision. IndyCar stewards not playing around, as I'm playing around with grass apparently. So we've gotten up to P11 as you see me all over the back here of the McLaren, but not wanting to make a move because now I understand the situation. You cannot pass these guys because we're gonna have to give up 5 positions anyways by the end of the lap. Now if we pass those 2, we'd have to give up 7. We cannot overtake our position, or gain position I should say as well. So really frustrating. that was all on me. At the end of the day, I put myself in that position, got a little bit too aggressive. We've had a history in our rookie season so far of getting a little bit too aggressive on some of these overtakes. And you think back to Long Beach when we wrecked ourselves out of that Grand Prix. As I'm continuing to struggle on this final lap. It doesn't even matter. We got to give up time anyways here now as we come through the penultimate corner. And this is where I'm going to give it up once we get down to the front straightaway. Really disappointed in myself for that move. It's Palou winning by a landslide. There's one position there with Lundgaard waiting for the next group of cars. There's Canapino, who still only managed to lose one spot, but 2, 3 with Rahal, 4 with Grosjean. There's 5 with VK. Now we got a drag race with Connor Daly to the line. We barely beat him, so we give up the 5 positions like we're told to do, and we end up instead of P11, P16, which is still even with the disappointment of my errors there putting us into an awkward penalty position, we still get a respectable day in P16, and I would say continue to impress and hopefully the right team with McLaren and showing, hey, I'm going to be aggressive. You know, we're a rookie. We are fast at times. We're going to be aggressive, and that's how we're going to get to the front of the grid here now. So Palou wins over Armstrong. You see the rest of the finishing order there. You can pause the screen if you need to. And the points, Kyle Kirkwood's gap, 15 points over Rosenquist, 36 over DeFrancesco. We find ourselves in 16th place. That's going to wrap it up for me. And the next one, we head to Mid-Ohio as we continue to pay more attention to this championship battle and maybe some talks with Zach Brown. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day, everybody.